What you want to bet on that?
What you want to bet
We
on?
can bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy.
Let's bet $1 million.
Bet $1 million.
You getting that
Easy.
money, right?
Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. What are you talking about?
There it goes.
What's going on, you guys? So, Timothy Bradley comes out and says that Spence and Crawford should fight 2 or 3 times. Now, there's been a narrative going around the past few weeks ago in boxing that Crawford wants a rematch clause, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, for me, with this matchup, I think, and I always said this, if you've been following your boy Bushido for a while, you always heard me say this, that these guys should fight 2 or 3 times, right? If it's feasible for a third fight, they should fight 3 times. But fans seem to believe that by these guys wanting a rematch clause and, you know, whatever the case may be, some guy is scared of the other guy. No. This is when you take away your emotion from it and your hatred for whatever fighter you're not favoring, you got to look at it like this. This is a fight that this is a fight that the fans built up. We've been talking about this fight almost every day. Whether it's your boy Bushido or some other platform, somebody was talking about Spence and Crawford. This fight's been talked about amongst the community almost every day from various channels, various platforms, various social media outlets. This is the most built-up fight that we have in the current era of boxing. Ain't no other fight that's been built up like this. Ain't no other fight that's been on a collision course like this. Ain't no other fighters undefeated still leading up to this type of point. It makes sense for Crawford and Spence to fight 2 or 3 times. Right? Depending on how the first fight goes, depending on how the second fight goes, there may be a third fight. But depending on how the first fight goes, it could possibly be a second fight. Why? Because of the money. The money involved in this type of fight. Errol Spence is 32, 31 years old. One may say he's a little older because of the time off from the sport. There's a lot of things that come into play with your body and how you take care of yourself over the years. Now, not to say Errol Spence isn't a healthy guy or anything of that nature, but he has had points of inactivity, injuries, and some spots of undisciplinary behavior. Okay, should I say, right? But Errol Spence Jr. always shows up in top form and top shape. But he's 32 years old now. Crawford is 34 years old. So depending on how this series, or if it is a series play out, Crawford could be 35, 36 years old when this thing is all said and done, right? I'm not sure if Terrence Crawford is looking to be fighting at 35, 36 years old. So yeah, the clock is ticking for these guys to make this first fight. The first fight has to get done first. But Timothy Bradley said there's a lot that comes into making a fight this big. We have to be patient. Fans could assume they know what's going on, but we really don't know what's going on. Errol Spence said this thing is closer than ever. Terrence Crawford is optimistic that this thing is going to happen. But, you know, some fans, some guys like your boy Bushido hearing other things behind the scenes that may not seem, the light is not shining on the news that I'm receiving from behind the scenes. But when we hear these guys come out speak, it seems like this thing is close, and I'm hoping they're all right. But Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is a fight that should happen 2 or 3 times. It really makes no sense for it not to. It's the most built-up fight in boxing. A lot of us fans put a lot of emotional investment into this fight. Why not see it more than once, especially if the first fight is competitive? Either way, it should be a rematch clause in the fight so these guys can make the most out of it. This is something that they built up over the years, something that we all built up over the years, and we got to get the most out of it because we don't have no other fight in boxing that's been built up like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence been built up. We've seen what happened with Joshua and Wilder. That fell off the rails, right? So, and all these other young fighters, they still haven't really built up or have enough profile yet to really, you know, have this fight of this type of magnitude. Maybe Ryan Garcia and Tank, but outside of those 2 guys, Crawford and Spence is the one of the biggest fights in boxing. So yeah, we gonna have to see how this thing plays out. You know, it just takes a lot to make this type of fight. Who comes out first? Who's gonna be the A side? Who's gonna get this? Who's gonna get that? There's a lot of things, a lot of details that come to making this type of fight. Hopefully we hear an announcement within the next week or so. I think if we don't hear an announcement in the next week or so, we likely won't get it in 2022 at all. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, you guys, that's all I got this morning. Timothy Bradley says Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford should fight 2 or 3 times. And that's what it is. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.